guys, it's Vijaya and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make Detroit style pizza. Now, a few months ago, I had the chance to visit Detroit for the very first time and hit up Buddy's for my first Detroit style pizza experience, and let me tell you, it was so good. The kicker with Detroit style pizza is that it has this beautiful fluffy crust with cheese that sort of like melts into the edges and gets nice and crusty. It is so delicious, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make at home. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like what you see. And of course, if you're looking for the full recipe, just click that info box down below and everything you need is there. Let's make some za. Our first order of business is making the dough, and for that we need to bloom some yeast. So I have some lukewarm water here. It's so important that it's lukewarm because if it's too cold, the yeast won't activate, and if it's too hot, then the yeast will die. And to that, I'm gonna add my yeast. As well as a couple of spoonfuls of sugar, and that's just gonna help with the blooming process. Now we're gonna give this a nice stir and let it hang for about 5 to 10 minutes until the yeast gets nice and puffy. Look at how puffy our yeast got. That is exactly what you're looking for. And if you notice that your yeast does not activate, there's a very good chance that it's old. You need to throw it away. You should not proceed with this recipe and head to the grocery store and get some fresh yeast. Now, what I'm gonna do is season up my flour. So I have a little bit of flour in my bowl, and to that I'm gonna add some salt to season. And we're gonna get busy with our digits. So I'm gonna just get in there and mix my flour around. And now I'm gonna pour in my yeast mixture right into the middle, and we're gonna start swirling our fingers in the middle, capturing a little bit of flour at the time and bringing it towards the middle to form the dough. Now this dough is a little bit on the stickier side. That's the signature for Detroit style pizza, and you wanna keep stirring this until it forms a nice soft ball. And now that our dough has somewhat come together, we want to take the time to knead it, okay? And so we're gonna knead it for about 7 minutes. And I prefer doing this in the bowl as opposed to on a flat surface because it is a stickier dough, and you just want it to form into a nice smooth ball. So I've just finished kneading my dough. When I press on it, it's quite wet and tacky to the touch. And just to shape it, I'm gonna fold it in on itself to create a nice smooth ball, like so. Beautiful. Pretty. So now into the bowl, I'm gonna add a touch of olive oil, and we're just gonna smooth it all over the ball, like so. And now I'm just gonna cover it with a damp cloth and let it hang for 2 hours, and during that time, it's gonna double in volume. So while our baby is resting, we're gonna hit the stove and make the sauce. I have a saucepan on medium heat, and to that I'm gonna add a touch of olive oil and then a couple of ingredients. So I have some minced garlic that's going in, and as you can tell, the heat's quite low so that garlic isn't sizzling up right away, which is exactly what we want, as well as some chili flake. And we're gonna just cook this for about 10 to 15 seconds until the garlic is translucent and its flavor has infused into the oil. And now we're gonna pour in our strained tomato sauce, or passata, and that is gonna serve as the base for the sauce. Give it a nice stir, and we're gonna season it up with a couple more things. So I'm gonna go in with a sprinkle of dried oregano. I'm also gonna season this sauce up with a touch of sugar. That's just gonna balance the acidity in the tomatoes. And of course, we have to season up with a touch of salt to taste. And we're gonna cook this, stirring every once in a while for about 10 to 15 minutes on medium heat until it thickens up. It's been about 2 hours, probably the longest 2 hours of my life, but my dough has risen, and look at it. It is so beautiful, doubled in volume, and it's good to go. So now I have a baking tray like so. We're using a rectangular baking tray, but if you only have a square baking tray, then what you can do is you can split the dough in half. I'm gonna grease it with a touch of olive oil. And you want to take the time to really make sure every surface is coated with that oil, because that's what's going to help the crust crisp up. Perfect. And now I'm going to tip in my dough. Ooh, it's so soft, I can tell. and we're gonna just start to push it so that it reaches the corners of the baking tin. Now let's talk toppings. The cheese. Okay, so in Detroit they use something called brick cheese, but I figured that not everyone can find that. I couldn't find it. So the next best thing is whole milk mozzarella that I've cut up into 1-inch cubes. I also have some Italian sausage out of its casing and some pepperoni. Those are my 2 toppings of choice. But if you're a vegetarian or you want to switch up the toppings, feel free, the sky's the limit. So I'm going to start by layering in my pepperoni, and you want it to cover the surface of the pizza. Next up, I'm going to sprinkle the cheese all over. Oops, there goes a piece of cheese. And you want to make sure that you cover the edges as well, because that's going to bake in, giving us that beautiful crispy crust. And even distribution is the name of the game. Next up, I'm going to dot little pieces of sausage all over the surface. And now I'm going to take my sauce and create 3 lines along the length of the pizza. Now this is pretty unusual compared to typical pizza in the sense that the sauce usually serves as the base, but this is what we do for Detroit style. Are you guys ready? This pizza hasn't even hit the oven yet and it smells amazing, but my oven is preheated to 500 degrees. You want to crank it up as high as it will go, and my rack is on the lowest level because that is what is needed for Detroit style pizza to succeed. We're gonna pop this guy in for about 13 to 15 minutes, and that's gonna give it enough time for the dough to rise and for the crust to get beautiful and golden and charred. Let's do it. My pizza came out of the oven 5 minutes ago and it was sizzling like you wouldn't believe, you guys. And the smell, oh my gosh, the smell. So I let it sit in the pan for an additional 5 minutes outside of the oven just so that everything could set up nicely. And then I went ahead and cut my pizza into slices, and this is what we have. Oh my gosh, do you see the fluff factor? And the edges are nice and golden and have little charred bits. Let's give it a taste. Okay guys, I think I've decided Detroit style pizza is my favorite style of pizza ever. I mean, oh my gosh, the dough is so light and airy, but so fluffy. You got so much height on it, and then the crisp exterior embedded with all that cheese, that savory sauce over the top paired with the pepperoni and the meaty sausage. So good. If you've been to Detroit, this is an amazing dupe for buddies, and if you haven't yet, then don't fret, because I'm gonna bring Detroit to you with this homemade Detroit style. It's so easy to make, and trust me, it's such a crowd pleaser. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give me a big ol' thumbs up. You know how that makes me feel. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe for more videos. And as always, if you're looking to leave me a question, a comment, or want to get something off your mind, leave it in the comments box down below. Until my next video, I will see you all later, and I will continue eating this pizza.